Always remember, your focus determines your reality. Stay close to me, and you'll be safe.
So today's video is kind of my frustrations in the game right now, and also we'll show you some teams. I don't have really any gameplay for it, but teams that I like to run defensively that are kind of oddball teams, and the main teams are really the clones right now that I want to talk about and go over. But let's start this off by my frustration. So the biggest frustration in the game right now for me is my crystals. There is so much crap I have to now farm and just refresh all the dang time. There's just not enough crystal income, even if you are getting daily rewards from hitting top first in the squad arena and in the fleet arena as well. 900 crystals, it might seem like a lot to a lot of you guys, but if you want to be competitive in this game, you want to be just refreshing a lot of like the mods, trying to get shards for characters and a lot of the gear stuff right now. And we kind of went over this in my last video on the relics, but when the signal data will be needed for the Cantina energy, that means that you're going to be wanting to refresh this node as well and try to get as much as possible. And between that energy, fleet, this normal energy here, and the mods, there's going to be a lot of crystals needed for that stuff. And as of right now in the game, 900 crystals a day is not going to cut it. Not even with TBs, not even with, whatever other modes we have, like TW, it's not going to cut it, guys. Just plain and simple, not going to cut it. If they want to bring in this whole relic system and the signal data, if they're going to add it into a already, for like cantinas, they got to add a different, maybe raid or just adjust the rewards like we've been wanting them to do for like the last 2 years. I would love them to add more raids. If they're not planning on doing any raids though for the foreseeable future, at least influx the gear or just give us some more crystals. I mean, come on, how is that a big of a deal? I'm not gonna be spending all these dang crystals on refreshes when I would like to try to hoard up a bit for future stuff down the line for like these big events. It just is really hard to do, especially since these are kind of panic farms as of right now. If you didn't have the clones ready up in gear, you're kind of going to be behind a little bit, and they're most likely going to be needed for the next event. So pretty much I just am really bummed out about how much crystals that are going to be needed in this new relic system. It's going to be quite I wouldn't say impossible but it's almost getting to that point where it's going to be impossible to catch up. Because free to play is only, or their only way to catch up was to hoard, and trying to do that now with these new relics is going to be quite impossible because you'll now have to not only farm gear, farm shards for new characters that we're going to be needing, but you're going to be needing to farm these stupid signal datas off of the Cantina battles and the nodes, and there's just not enough crystals in the game right now for it. 900 a day is not going to be cutting it for me at least, and that's kind of a way for them to monetize the game even more so, to say, hey, if you want to get relics and if you want to be hoarding for the future, you got to spend money. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it's going to in this game, and it kind of is hard to see that. I mean, I would like for it to be somewhat, achievable. Like a guy that, like me, has been playing every single day for like the last almost 4 years. It wasn't up until like a few months ago where I started spending, and before that I was still kind of behind on metas. But just imagine a guy that was playing just as long as I have and has been hoarding up and been on top of their metas every single time a new meta has come out, and they've been on top of that, doing their best job trying to get those metas. Now with this release, it's just going to be a lot more tough for them, and it might just be impossible for free to play. And I don't know how I really feel about relics, guys. I feel like the relics themselves are a really cool thing to add in the game with like the old gear being used, but signal data and this whole new Cantina energy stuff is just something I am not interested in at all. I know this is kind of like an extended version of my last video, but I'm really just not a fan of it, guys. I love the idea of relics. I just wish they would have gone about it differently. I'm not sure what they could have, but if they're adding in it to this Cantina energy here, they got to add in more crystals for a normal player. There got to be new modes. Maybe they want to increase the amount of crystals from a galactic war, and maybe you're gonna be needed to force to play it nowadays, which I would be totally cool of. More ways for me to use my roster and to play with my roster, the more the merrier, in my opinion at least. And I think we're overdue for a raid. We got to be getting a raid soon. Ship raid would be dope. I would love a ship raid, but there's just not enough crystal consumption for this to be something to look into for the future, for being trying to stay on top of your A game while you're having to deal with all these whales and krakens. So pretty much this part of the video is over. I'm just trying to say here that crystals are going to be a huge issue once we get the relics and once we get signal data into the game as well. So that's it for this part of the video. Let's move on to some of the other ones with my GA teams that I've been trying to use. Okay, so I won this last round. So I'm on round 3 now. I'm rank 424 in Div 2. Probably going to just get bumped down to the thousands. But I'm fighting this guy, HT Rex. He looks pretty cool. He's actually a sub of mine, so it should be a really cool round. I'm not going to try to spoil too many of my defenses for the sake of me trying to win this last round. But I will show you some defenses here that I've been having some good success with. I haven't gotten full cleared yet, so last round I beat this guy named Eddie Wan, and then the round before I beat a guy named the Tormentos. Haven't gotten full cleared yet, and it's kind of interesting for me to not get full cleared because I go pretty dang hard on my offenses. I save my Darth Revan, my JKR, my what else? My Padme team, like a bunch of these hard-hitting teams. And a lot of other teams like EP, and just to counter the other weaker teams. So my defenses right now, I have 2 of which are First Order and Karth, which are, I wouldn't say they're easy banner teams to go up against, but they're just teams that aren't good right now, that pretty much any really decent squad can just one-shot. So I'm kind of almost forced to put them in my defenses, and I don't like using them on offense at all. I just like rather using CLS, JK, or JTR rather, and stuff like that. And then we got some Grievous squads there. But as of recording this, let's just rewind a little bit. As of recording this, we are getting a new stupid feat. This feat here, and this is, I guess, another part of this video, I absolutely hate feats that are like this. Fist of the Separatists. Defeat 24 enemies in GAs with a Separatist character or a ship. This is stupid, guys. I absolutely hate this. There are only really 2 good Separatist squads that you can use. Grievous and Geos. I'm almost kind of forced into saving my Grievous team for offense just to get this stupid feat done, because 250 of these things, these points, is huge. Trying to get in the top leaderboard, trying to get the better rewards is really, really important. And just feats like this suck. I just hate it. I really do. It does not, do anything good for you. It only hurts your whole strategy of what you want to save for offense or defense. And like, what if you invested really heavily into a really solid, optimally modded Separatist team for your defenses, and now you're kind of forced to use them on offense? And same goes with the Geos. I like to have them both on defense because I find them to be really good, A-tier defensive teams that force a really hard counter. But now I'm kind of forced to put them and try to get them on offense to get some of these stupid, feats done. I just don't like some of these feats. For the most part, though, they're pretty straightforward. Like these ones, the advance and the know the enemy, just easy ones that you get along just by playing normally. But those ones like Fist of the Separatists, I'm not a fan of at all. But some of these defenses that I've been having some good success with, the Tormentos guy, I don't have a good strong Malik, so I just put him in a back wall. He didn't really fight that one, but down here in the bottom, I got a couple holds on my clone trooper team. My Rex in this one was pretty, it was decently fast. He doesn't have crazy speed, only 87 plus the 1, 2, 3, so it's 12% extra speed bonus from the Rex unique, and then the 35 from Shock T. So he's over 300 speed, and giving the tenacity up and the extra TM boost is really important in this team. But so I used this team twice, and it got good holds in both times. And then we'll just show you guys this one as well. And then this one was pretty much the same thing. It got 2 holds, so it's pretty dang good. My Echo is only gear 9, so what I'm kind of thinking here is trying to play around that stupid feat with the Fist of the Separatists and trying to run a different kind of team with, probably not Shock T because she's only gear 8, and the guy I'm fighting probably can just one-shot it really easily with what he's got. So I might kind of swap it up a little bit. The team I was going to go for, or thinking about going over, I'm not too sure about it, but I think it'd be really solid. It would be a Rex lead with Fives, Barris, Ahsoka, and then Wampa. I think Thrawn would be really ideal in that team, but I like to save Thrawn for my offense just almost all the time because if they have a good Padme, I like to use Traya, the Triumvirate with Thrawn to just easy counter that. But I think that the clones, if you don't have a good, high gear Shaak Ti, you could try for something like this into like a back wall. But honestly, I think what I just mentioned there with the extra like Wampa and Barris really does help this team because if like Echo dies or if maybe Rex dies, instead Fives will die from his Zeta and then they'll gain all the extra boosts. So it's really, really nice. And I don't like Shaak Ti low gear in these teams just yet. I think maybe gear 9, 10, 11 should do it. But as of right now, I don't like a gear 8 Shaak Ti. I would like to get her up in the future. I'm just kind of waiting for what's going to happen down the line with all the future content. But this team here, the clones, have been getting me really great holds. And partnering it with some Django nests really does get the job done. So my front wall kind of is almost like this. I get the two weak teams like the Karth and the First Order, and then I pair it up with, Grievous and with some Geos, and then the back walls of those, I play some, sketchy kind of teams. I'm always swapping these up, though, so these are always different. But that's kind of it for my defenses. I just thought I'd share this with you guys because these are the ones that have been getting me good holds, and if you guys want to know what I typically say for offenses, we'll show you guys some of those too, because my offenses are they're very expandable. I could use a lot of different teams here, and I was almost thinking of using Bastila in my EP team for like a defense team in the future for this stupid Fist of the Separatists, but these are pretty much my teams. I don't really always use Ewoks. That's only kind of in special cases. But everything else I can kind of, easy get banners. Like this is my Padme versus Malik. CLS, fights a lot of different teams. Get easy banners that way. Trey is a huge one. I use them versus Bugs, versus Padmes, stuff like that. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. This time around, my guy has a Nuke Grievous team, so I might just save some undersized Jedi to beat that. We'll see. I do have a good offense and defense, balance, I would say. I just would like to get some more info on the next kind of stuff so I can plan accordingly for my modding and my gearing. So guys, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, my frustrations on the game as of right now. And the crystals are my biggest issue, really is. I get some good rewards. I get first in my squad arena. I get top 5 because I get sniped all the freaking time in my fleet. But honestly, I'm okay with getting what I have every day. There's so much I need to be doing right now for my farms that's kind of ridiculous. So just adding that into, next update with relics and signal data, it's going to be even worse. So guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. And share if you guys kind of would like to share this. It really does help. And if you are new to my channel, feel free to sub. We do these type of videos almost every single day. I try to do them every day. I do have a Discord and Patreon if you guys want to go check out those two. That's it for me today, guys. Hopefully you are safe out there, and hopefully you guys are kicking some butt in your GAs as well. So that's it for today, and I'll see you later.